I went to my undergrad, I had to choose a PE credit. So I chose this modern dance class. And I took the first class that first day, and I remembered how much I loved it. And I mean, I had been dancing, going to concerts and festivals and shows for years, but yeah, just being in the studio with other dancers and really devoting space and time to the practice of it and the development of the art form was really enlivening to me. And so I really took to it and kept taking classes. And then one of the choreographers that I had been working with put on this public art variety show in a bar downtown in this very small mountain town. It was a gathering space, and it was free and open to anyone who wanted to come. Since it was at a bar and anyone and everyone was there for different reasons, some for the show and some not, there was a lot of noise, just the normal noise of a bar and clanking of glasses and people chatting, and the ringer in the kitchen letting the servers know that the food was ready, all of the typical noises. And during several portions of the show, a lot of people would be hushing the people in the bar to pay attention to this show. And I distinctly remember thinking to myself, it's a bar and we made it open to the public. So I don't think it's really fair for us to think we're at the liberty of telling bar patrons to hush. And then it came time for me to come on, and the choreographer, the producer of the show, had let me have free reign on anything I wanted to do. And so I decided I would collaborate with my friend who played the upright bass, and I would move. And a couple days before the show, I met up with him and sort of gave him this general idea with like 3 landmarks within the piece where I would shift from this emotion to this emotion to this emotion. So he, it was structured improvisation in its loosest form. But we got up and we were performing. I remember the moment it got so silent that in the middle of my performance, I could hear the ding of the bell. The energy in the air was so palpable. People were so present with me, and I had never experienced anything like that. And up until that point, I had just been, performing some little pieces of other people's material. But this was me just having the chance to express myself through my movement in a conversation with my friend on the bass. Just very raw. And I remember when I came off, I was almost convulsing. I was so overcome. It was the first time in my life that I had ever experienced this equilibrium between what I was putting out into the world and what was being given back to me. It was the first time where my empathy and creativity were in sync. At that time, I was so politically active and going to a lot of protests and, just studying how I was going to save the world, through sustainable development and intercultural communication. And after I got off the stage, I was just pouring out. It was so intense. And this woman came up to me. She was one of the people who had just ended up at the bar that night, and she didn't know there was going to be a performance. She would never have gone to a theater. And these were the kinds of people we wanted to reach. And she came up to me and she said, I didn't know how much I needed that. I needed that so much. I didn't know. And she was weeping, and that was the moment that I realized that that's how I was gonna make the world a better place, is through art and performance, and not through political activism and leading the revolution. And I'm grateful other people are and will do those things, but for me, it caused so much anger and depression and alienation in my life that it just wasn't sustainable for me. And I think ever since, I've been trying to find a way to bring sustainable fulfillment into my life, so that I wasn't just serving this martyr complex, but honoring that life that I had so fortunately been given by enjoying it